Come with me inside my refrigerator. So I've actually got each shelf for a different purpose. Up here on the top, I have all drinks. The middle is all things that are ready to eat, already prepared. I've got this little basket for all of my sandwich making supplies. And then the bottom is everything that I need to cook or prepare. I even have over here in the door pockets different purposes for each pocket for different types of condiments, but we'll go through that in a little bit. Mackenzie here. Welcome to my kitchen. Over the years, I've discovered that although I don't like to cook, I do love to organize my food. No one is surprised. Today, I'm going to let you inside all of my tips and tricks about how to keep your freezer and your fridge organized so it's easy to cook and easy to eat. I'm even going to address the big debate on what the use of egg containers is. Stay tuned. My favorite shelf, the to eat shelf, I've used a couple different strategies. One is, you know how you'll have a dish that has a lot of toppings or a lot of different elements to it, even after you've prepared, that you don't want to forget about or want other members of the family to forget to use when they grab something to eat. So I utilize this basket that I transition for whatever kind of dish I have that week. So right now we have all of the supplies for tacos. I've got the tomatoes, some avocado. This dish has the chicken that I prepared, and the back's got lettuce and cheese. It's great because then whenever we're ready for a taco, we just pull out this basket, everything is in there. I even decided to throw in some of my hot sauce that I want to go away in here so that it's easy to just grab. And then I use a dry erase marker to erase whatever the category is for this basket. It's totally awesome and really helps to make sure that you don't forget things. Another strategy I use is to stack things. So, for example, I want to eat this Parmesan cheese with my spaghetti, and I just stack it right on top. And everybody in the house knows that when you go to grab something, if something's stacked on top or put right in front, it goes with that thing, so make sure to grab it and enjoy. I love having a shelf that's just for items to cook for a couple of reasons. It's really nice to keep raw items like chicken and sausage separate from, fresh items so that nothing gets contaminated. And it's always helpful to put your raw items on the bottom so that juices or things aren't dripping down in case there is a spill. Again, I use my stacking method over here because I've got some items that I need to chop all for one dish right here. I'm going to use these items to make a salad with some items that I've got stored in my drawer, like spinach. And then over here, these are actually two items that I had stacked that I'm going to use for a soup. So it's nice to keep those two things categorized. And then we always keep our eggs here since that's something that needs to get prepared that's ready to go. I use the drawers as well just for fresh produce, which typically makes sense next to the items that are ready to cook so that they can be easily grabbed for prep. One of the most chaotic places in the fridge is usually the door. All of the condiments and bottles and skinny things really usually create a lot of duplicates, making it hard to find things and causing things to go bad. Separating things into categories really helps a lot. Take a look at the condiments you've had and establish what categories work for you. I would suggest cooking sauces, regular condiments, and then pickled. That usually helps to break things up a little bit so that you have a little bit more functionality. I also gave myself a little bin for all of the tiny little takeout packets that I get. I found that keeping them in the refrigerator right at the top gives me easy access to them, and I use them a lot more frequently than if they're jumbled in a drawer with all of my other items in the kitchen. Another thought is to give yourself a little cup for any beauty products or things that need to be refrigerated that are actually not cooking related. I have my little face rollers. When it comes to products inside your refrigerator, the biggest thing you can do is to just get one or two deep bins that you can easily see inside that reach as far back in your refrigerator as possible. It'll help you categorize things like we talked about and help things that are small from getting lost in the back. Specialized products like these nice stackable produce bins are really great because, again, it helps you utilize that vertical space on the shelf, but not necessary. You could also get a lot of worth out of your space by just keeping these things contained in the packages that they came in and putting them in a basket if they're small. Everyone wants to know about the egg container. I will say it's nice to be able to see inside without opening up the package to know how many eggs you have left. But other than the aesthetics, and if you're someone that has chickens and needs a place to put your eggs, not super necessary. Just make sure when you're selecting products to not overdo it. You want to make sure you keep plenty of space in your fridge for any to-go containers that come in and all of your Tupperware to store your food. You want to make sure that you have plenty of space to mix and match and you don't overcrowd with bins. The final step, make sure that you label. The new system will be easiest to follow if everyone in the space has a little bit of a guide to start them out. Once you got the hang of it, you can take the labels off. Now that you've got a great system in your refrigerator, mimic the same kinds of principles in the freezer. Inside mine, I like to use the door for smaller items, and this does rotate depending on what's going on, but I always put my bags of vegetables here because they're small and they get really lost in the back. Another solution for those is to definitely put a basket in your freezer because then you can just pull that out. I've stuck this little drawer organizer in the door for all of my ice packs. That can be a helpful tool if you've got tiny things in your freezer. Try putting them in a drawer and put a little cup to keep things from sliding through if you've got an opening like I do. And then on the shelves inside, I love separating simply just by things that are already prepared, ready to be pulled out and eaten, versus things that I need to cook. Just like in the fridge, it makes it simple. If you're hungry right away, you know to head for that top shelf. And if there's things that need to be done with your cooking process, you know to check out the bottom. Hopefully now when you go to open your fridge or your freezer, you can find exactly what you need when you need it with no gross surprises. Follow us on social media for more tips and tricks. We'll see you next time.